Hello everybody, Sergeant Soldier here, and we're back with another How To Rust, and today we're going to be looking at a large furnace building that's going to be outside of your actual base. Now this suggestion comes from a YouTube subscriber, and they asked me to do this because they were wondering what's the best way to do it. And honestly, there are a few different ways to do it. Either A, you could do it inside of your base, which unless you have a lot of honeycombing and you're actually living in a very large base, I really wouldn't recommend this. If you're living in a small base and you have a large furnace in the bottom of it, there's a good chance that the raiders are going to blow into the furnace and then use that furnace to skip multiple levels to get higher up into your base. However though, if you have a larger base that has more honeycombing and different wall stacks and stuff like that, you might be able to actually get away with it. So the most effective way to use a large furnace, in my opinion, is outside of your base. That's assuming you're a small group or even a solo. If you have a large furnace as a solo, good luck. But the most effective way is pretty much this. A circle tower. That's it. What I've done here is I've went up 6 stories because that's the maximum amount of height you need. Let me go in here to get rid of all the smoke. Turn on. Oop, I need some wood. There we go. Turn on. Alright. As you see, give it a sec. There's no smoke. You have to go all the way up here if you want to actually hide all of the smoke that's going to be coming out of this thing. Otherwise, people are going to know that it's a large furnace. Also, if you remember our break and rust video from a little bit ago, if you put this thing by the water, you're going to be able to tell it's a large furnace because for some reason the water reflects a darkish orange, almost a red light on it that says, hey, it's a large furnace over there. So basically from here, it's actually really easy to build these things. A lot of people build them differently, but I'm going to show you the easiest way that I know for you to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down here, and you're going to start with a square foundation. And we'll do it right here. Like that. Then you take your furnace, and you walk it back, and get it as close to that square as possible. It should be right there. See that? Now, that's the necessary thing to do. You have to do it like this because you need this to be very tight to it, otherwise you're not going to get all the foundations around it. Now, yes, of course, there are going to be times when you're not on flat ground. Oops, you're not on flat ground, and you're not able to get this to sit quite like this. It's going to take a lot of working and kind of tweaking a little bit because it can happen. Sometimes you just have to find a better spot to put it. That's really all it comes to. Hey. Okay, so there we go. We have all of our foundations all the way around. Now the reason that I do it like this instead of other ways is because you're not breaking extra foundations and trying to work your way back from something. The way that a lot of people used to do it is they used to build the circle like this and then remove all these foundations like this in order to fit the foundation in there. You don't have to do that. Just do it the way that we started from and it'll go in very, very easy. So let me replace all these again. Now the reason I like doing it like this, and yes I know I'm on flat ground, when it is on flat ground you can actually put in walls on the inside here. And it'll go all the way around, like so, and it just gives you extra protection for your furnace. Which, I mean, when it comes to running large furnaces, hey, stop it. When it comes to running large furnaces, people want to get in there. They want to get that stuff because they know you're going to have stacks of metal, stacks of sulfur, stacks of charcoal. They want all that stuff. So having that extra wall in there, yeah, it's definitely really important. So we're going to go back to this one over here because I have no water and I'm running slow. Now there's a couple things you could do. One, you could always honeycomb the inside. Technically it's a 50-50 chance. There's a good chance they're going to hit a square and bypass all the extra honeycombing you put in there. However, one thing that I've noticed is if you put a door, like I have here, on a triangle, most people assume, for some really weird reason, that that's a square. And they almost always hit the wall right next to the door, thinking that there's going to be an extra airlock in here, right? So basically, you got to be careful about this because you have to try to trick them into hitting the one you want. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's really hard to say. I mean, you can do it whatever you want. You don't even have to put the honeycombing in here. Like all this, the extra triangles right here, you don't have to put this in here. Some people do, some people don't. Of course, as you see here, I've gone outside with foundations. You can keep expanding upon it, making it bigger and bigger and bigger. You could also take high walls and put them around there. There's a lot of different things you could do, but realistically, this is the most efficient, the most efficient and less resources expense that I can really think of because it's so tight to the actual furnace itself. I mean, you could realistically, let me show you, that's the bear. But we're not going over there, we're going over here. Realistically, you could just do something like this. Go all the way around. Alright. So we know the furnace is going to fit in there, right? So in order to get a furnace to actually fit in a square base, we have to make it even bigger. A 4x4 will actually fit a large furnace inside of it. We'll go ahead and grab that. Now, there's other things you could do here too. There we go. See? Now it is kind of tight, but also at the same time, there's a lot of extra room in here that's kind of wasted space. You could throw some chests in here, or some stashes, or whatever you want to do. But in terms of resource cost, you made the base a lot larger. It's not as tight to the furnace, and also it's extra wasted space. I mean, realistically, look at all these different squares here, as opposed to that. The extra walls and extra floors alone are going to add up to a lot of resources. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. It's very, very simple. There isn't really much to do about it. You just basically build a circle tower around your furnace, and that's it. You go up 6 stories if you want to 100% hide it. You can add layers of honeycombing if you want. You can do a lot of different stuff. I wouldn't recommend building your main base inside of a furnace building, unless that main base is huge and there's a lot of layers to it, a lot of additional walls going around it. Otherwise, it's too much of a risk. If they were to blow into here, let me show you. Go around the bear. If they were to blow into here and blow this wall out, and maybe even another side wall, and get on top of the furnace here, and maybe even buddy jump up here. Alright, turn you off. Buddy jump up here. They now have access to the 2nd floor, like so, and the 3rd floor. So if you actually have a base in here, they could just jump right in, if they weren't dehydrated like I am. Yep, being dehydrated sucks. They could literally just jump right in. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this episode of How to Rust. It could have been building Rust, however, it's not really a base build. I want this to be separate because, like I said, I don't think it's always a good idea to put this in your base. Sometimes, yes, if you have enough people to build around it, or you have enough people to protect it. But if you're a small group or you're not very active, just keep it outside. Keep it separate. That way, if they're going to blow into your base, either they're going to get the furnace or they're going to get your stuff, your main base, your loot. And you don't want them to get both unless they're going to sacrifice all the necessary explosives to do it. So, Sergeant Solj, How to Rust, and we'll see you in the next How to Rust video. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to see more great content from Private Astro or myself, please hit that subscribe button and click on any of the videos above. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next Sergeant Solj or Private Astro video. Bye-bye.